Here we have the Cinelog30 V3 that I'm going to install the 04, and at the same time I'm going to be using this video to show you how things are inside this drone and how can you repair it in case that you need it. Let's start by opening this one. It's quite easy to open using this screw here. Then you have these two and you have these two here. Be careful here because you have the cable for the LED. You don't want to break that one when removing the screw. This connector here is the LED and you have to disconnect it before opening. So this drone has something in particular that some brands have started to do, which is to add this auxiliary board here that is going to help you move the USB to the back. For example, here you see it, so it's easy to access, and it's also giving you this button that is going to be like if you need to reboot the board, like when you need to enter the FU mode, you can push directly here without having to open the drone, which is pretty good, but at the same time it's adding one extra layer of error. This is not a dumb board. It has some electronic, you can see here, and basically this electronic, what it's doing is to take the power from the battery here and transform it or reduce it to 5 volts, and I think, and what it's a little bit, let's say, it's not annoying, but it's like you have to think about it, is that if you are using a Crossfire or a XPRC, the receiver is mounted directly to this board and it's soldered by soldering all the pins. You see here, all these 4 pins here are the receiver, which means that you can't change the receiver easily. You have to dismount this board and then desolder the 4 of them, these 4 pins at the same time, to be able to remove the XPRC or Crossfire. This has made one thing, like when a customer has called me to remove the XPRC because they want to use DJI, for example, the DJI remote, I don't remove the receiver itself. What I do is that I remove the connector from the controller to that receiver, which is this cable that you see here, and it goes to a connector that is down here. This connector here, this is for the receiver. So if you disconnect this one, the receiver is going to stay here and it's even gonna get power and everything, but it's not going to be doing anything on the drone. And then you can connect your all 4 cables and use your DJI radio. Similarly, this connector here, it's coming from the all-in-one controller, and you can see here that you have 5 volts, boot, and some other connections. This one is basically the one that is making this USB to work, and it's making the LED to work as well. So those things are connected to the all-in-one through this cable. So if everything that we want to do is just to connect the 04 into this drone, it's actually quite easy, because number one, you have to connect the camera in here, which is not a difficult thing to do at all, and then the air unit is going to be mounted here, and you just have to pay attention to these openings that you have on both sides of the frame. So you have the VTX mounted in a way that the holes can be, or the port can be accessed by those holes. It's the only thing that you have to pay attention when mounting this. because of the shape and because of this board and the way that they are doing with this drone, the antennas, they don't feed directly, they don't have enough cable directly like they are like this. So we have to have an extension that hopefully is in the box. These are the extensions for the antenna. We have to connect it properly, and GEPRC likes to have a shrink tube on the connection to the antenna in here to avoid any kind of short circuit or anything. Make it look a little bit better. This is the back, remember? The antennas go to the back. I'm not sure which size I need to, but I'm gonna start with 6 and see if it's enough. See, as I was mentioning in the beginning, I have access here to the USB port and to the SD card on this other side. This cable that comes already pre-installed in the drone is the one that is going to go to the air unit. So this is interesting because this is an express LRS drone. I don't need since this is an express LRS drone, I don't need the S-Bus. And normally GEPRC has conflict between the express LRS and the S-Bus, which means that I need to remove the cables, these two last cables, the green and the gray, from this cable if I want this drone to work correctly. I'm kind of surprised that GEPRC gives the cable like this because they know that the drone is express LRS, so they should give you the cable without these two. There is an elegant way to do this, which is to remove the cables carefully like this. And then there is a way that you just cut the cable. It's much quicker, but it's not that elegant. So again, these two cables are the S-Bus cables that will be used if you were using the DJI remote control. Since we're not using that because we have an express LRS in this drone, then we don't need these, and we remove them so they don't create any kind of conflict with the express LRS receiver. This black thing, let's see if I can show it. This black thing here helps keep the cable in place. First time that I see it, but it works pretty well. I don't like this cable going around, so I'm gonna just make sure that no cable is gonna be in the way of the propeller. These antenna cables are a little bit weird, and the camera cable also have to be taken into consideration. Lastly, we have to reconnect this LED cable. There you got it. So again, be careful with the cables, the antenna cables. I think I could have done a better job with this one here to get it inside the frame, so you're not gonna get it in the propeller and break your antenna. And the camera cable, this one here, also have to be like down, so you don't get it in the propeller. Let's move to the configuration of this drone. There is nothing really special here to do. It comes pre-configured from GEPRC, but I like to check anyway that things are the way that they should be. Like for example, the UART1 having the MSP for the video, that's fine. And then I don't know why all this beeper configuration comes on. Like I just turn off most of it. This drone doesn't have a beeper, so it doesn't really affect this. But anyway, I'm going to remove this just because I don't like to have something that I'm not using. I know my configuration for my radio is not standard, so I changed that directly as well. This is something that I know by heart at this point. But this is the important thing, right? Like this drone, it's ExpressLRS, so you have to make sure that you have it in the serial UART and the crossfire. Something interesting here is that they started to add in the crossfire the SBus configuration as well. This is done on when you are building the software, which they didn't do before. And if you wanted to change to DJI radio, it was making things a little bit more complicated. But since now it's both of them in there, the change will be easy if you want to do it. For the modes, I'm just gonna add my pre-arm. It's always a good practice to have pre-arm, so you avoid accidents in the future. I know my things by heart, so I know it's in the auxiliary 5, and that's it on the modes for me. The OSD is something that is very particular to each person. I try to have as clean as possible to enjoy my fly, so I remove things that I'm not interested, that it's not going to be necessary for me to fly, and I just rearrange things around a little bit to make it nice for me. Last part is to configure ExpressLRS. This is something that I love from ExpressLRS. I just need to add my binding phrase save and I'm done with it. Nothing else. There you have it. This is the Cinelog30 V3 with the O4 installed. The installation was quite easy, nothing particular complicated. I show you around a little bit inside so you understand the parts if you need to fix something, and I show you how the connections are to understand what you have in your drone, and you can do changes, modifications or repairs in the future.